sun, surf, sand and good times are all synonymous with our Gold Coast lifestyle. Yet behind the gold lies a series of issues which many of us don't even realise are on our doorstep. Vulnerable children and families, suicide, child sexual abuse and extreme financial hardship are but a few of the issues affecting our community. Lifeline Gold Coast is one organisation that provides a range of services to support those in need. As one of the fastest growing cities in the country, keeping up with the demands of the ever-growing community is a focus of Lifeline Gold Coast. Isolation, loneliness and a lack of support are just some of the issues new residents are faced with. Lifeline services are proven to be a valuable resource for facilitating positive change in people's lives. What many people don't realise about Lifeline Gold Coast is that it offers much more than just 24-hour telephone counselling and retail stores. The approach to service development is through engaging with the community to ensure services meet the ongoing needs of those most vulnerable. Ensuring the children of our future are given the start to life that they deserve is of paramount importance to Lifeline Gold Coast. The Northern Gold Coast Communities for Children initiative focuses on the Gold Coast-Brisbane corridor, one of Australia's fastest population growth areas. The program works at trying to connect vulnerable children and families in areas such as Oxenford, Pimpamar, Coomera, Upper Coomera, Cedar Creek and Ormeau, creating child-friendly communities. When the project first started, there was virtually no existing services in the area to support families faced with limited public transport and schools operating at capacity. The Communities for Children vision is to create a connected, child-friendly community with the goal of improving the future health and well-being, learning capacity, emotional support and community cohesion for the broader community in the Northern Gold Coast area. Depending on the child's needs, Lifeline Gold Coast offers specialist counselling one-on-one or via group therapy. Issues addressed include bullying, trauma, behavioural issues, anxiety, depression, self-esteem and separation or divorce.
I just needed help with my kids. They were both suffering from the trauma of the boating accident and I had two different sides of trauma. One was really withdrawn and the other one was actually punching and kicking. So I had to deal with two different kinds of trauma at the same time and try and hold the family together. She actually suggested to do one of the kids groups and we started with the youngest child and he actually really enjoyed the group and I enjoyed it too because we were involved in the group with the kids. Actually my kids got so much out of the group that they've asked to come back and maybe sometime in the future they'll come back to those classes because you actually learn through play how you can treat kids with trauma. So I learn a lot from my kids.
Group therapy is run for children and adolescents aged between 3 to 15 years who have experienced grief and loss, trauma or abuse and neglect of some kind in their lives. These groups provide space where kids can come together and share the things they struggle with in life. Single parenting courses and parent support groups are also available. A topic that is almost taboo in today's society is child sexual abuse. What many people don't know is that the Gold Coast has a high rate of child abuse compared with other regions in the state. The Gold Coast Child and Youth Sexual Abuse Counselling Service provides support to not only the victims but also their families. Personal and professional face-to-face counselling is conducted across the Gold Coast by qualified counsellors who keep up to date with the latest developments in their field, covering a wide range of issues, including grief and loss, relationship issues, loneliness, self-esteem, life direction, suicidal feelings, and crisis situations. Lifeline also runs a series of educational and therapeutic groups covering topics such as anger management, self-esteem, assertiveness, and suicide prevention training. Clive Robinson completed the men's workshop with Lifeline Gold Coast and says the experience turned his life around.
I chose Lifeline Gold Coast because there was a period there when my marriage broke up and I was in a dark place, and I found a lot of support from the men's group. I believe that Lifeline has made a huge difference to my life. It helped me get through a year of grief process after the breakup of my marriage. I now don't have to manage things so much in my life. I've got a general kind of okayness, and a lot of that's to do with the counsellors at Lifeline and the men's group that I went to.
Often when natural disasters or events occur, the devastation lasts a lot longer than the incident itself. Lifeline's Community Recovery Program is aimed at making an immediate impact on the trauma and stress experienced by communities through psychological first aid and counselling interventions, as well as spearheading longer-term recovery. Lifeline Gold Coast has provided support to those affected by the equine influenza outbreak, local flooding, and many of the community recovery team also travelled to Cairns to assist with the aftermath of Cyclone Larry. As an organisation, we have proven to be flexible in our ability to provide a quick response to challenging situations. The green behind the gold in our region is not forgotten either. Many members of the rural community have been doing it tough as a result of the worst drought in 100 years and just the pressures of life on the land. Lifeline provides outreach rural counselling in and beyond the Gold Coast hinterland. Lifeline's 13 11 14 service is staffed by committed trained volunteer telephone counsellors who are ready to take calls 24 hours a day, any day of the week, from anywhere in Australia. Anyone can call Lifeline. Somewhere in Australia there is a new call to Lifeline every minute. The Gold Coast alone receives approximately 17,000 calls per year. Lifeline counsellors are ready to talk and listen, no matter how big or how small the problem might seem. People simply need to pick up the phone and dial 13 11 14. At the core of Lifeline is the large workforce who are carefully selected and trained to meet the needs of the community. A large majority are valuable volunteers, community members of all ages and backgrounds who help run the shops, counselling service, warehouse and events. Without their commitment and support, Lifeline would not be the organisation that it is today.
I've enjoyed the activity of being a volunteer. You meet lots of interesting people, both other volunteers and also members of the public. And we get to have a chat and have an enjoyable time, as well as raising money for a really good cause. What motivates me to volunteer is that I have the time available and I feel that it's giving something back to the community. The appeal for Lifeline to me is that the money raised by Lifeline Gold Coast stays on the Gold Coast.
Did you know that approximately 50% of the funds needed to maintain Lifeline Gold Coast services is raised through our retail stores, donations, events and bequests? Lifeline relies on the community's support to ensure their services continue to grow and develop. Lifeline Gold Coast recognise that there is not a one-size-fits-all formula for all who want to give to the cause. The aim is to work with a wide range of local businesses and individuals in many different ways to provide a focus on strengthening the lives of individuals and families on the Gold Coast.
I didn't know I'd meet you just at the right time. I didn't know I'd sit with you and talk